What is up, guys? How you doing? I wanted to give you guys a short little video here, and I wanted to give you guys a little update on how my ownership experience has been with the Honda Civic Type R. Now, I know I've done an ownership review and an ownership update, and I've done the transmission issue stuff, but I kind of wanted to do a video of how I feel about owning the Type R. A lot of people want to know how it feels to own a new car, how it feels to own the Type R, and what kind of implications does that bring with that ownership. Well, let's do a little recap of when I bought the car. So when I bought the car, it was back in late July. I was very excited to drive it. I was driving that FK7, the Honda Civic Sport hatchback in manual, and I love that car. I kind of miss it actually to this day. So you can tell that I love the car. I really like the car, and I just wanted to kind of turn it up a little bit. And I felt that the Type R was probably the most economical and best way to go about doing that. So I went ahead and started shopping for the Type R. The shopping for the Type R, the whole process was a big pain in the ass. It wasn't good at all. I didn't like the process, but that's how the dealerships are these days. It is what it is, right? So, one second, let me do a little pull here. Nice. It's nice and cold, so the turbo motor has all the power. But because it's nice and cold, we've got no traction to put that power down. There we go. It's always fun. That's always fun. So anyways, I was saying, I got the car, very excited to drive it. Pretty much immediately took it to a track day, and that track day was a ton of fun. It actually surprised me how good the Type R was. The Type R is basically a game changer when it comes to performance from a hot hatch. The turn-in is amazing, the way it drives is incredible, and you just feel like you're in a performance car, especially when you're out of the track pushing the limits of the car. It does really, really well at the track, and it's hard to find a car like that out of the box that's pretty much ready to go for a nice track day. So after owning it for about 6 months, 5 or 6 months, people are asking me, hey, do you regret buying the Type R instead of buying a Golf R or Ford Focus RS? And what I say to that is, I wish I could own all three, but I could only choose one, and I'm pretty happy with my choice of Type R. Not only because, I'm not really a Volkswagen guy. The experiences I've had with Volkswagens in my past have been fixing electrical problems on my cousin's cars, and they just weren't positive. Not that I'm saying that they're bad now. They're probably amazing now. Who knows? But it just wasn't for me. And then the Ford Focus RS, I was very close to getting it, but I wanted a hatch. I really wanted the hatchback, and when I opened the hatch, it just wasn't as practical as the Type R. And when I drove it, it just felt harsh. So let's go over the positives and negatives of my ownership experience of the Type R. Obviously, in the positives is this car is just a lot of fun to have, especially on these types of roads right here. Now keep in mind, it is very cold out. I keep saying that for a reason. We got low tire grip. Also got salt on the ground here. And yes, I'm driving my Type R in the salt. There are very few cars out on the market right now that you can, out of the box, have this much fun. This road is basically why you'd buy a Honda Civic Type R, just to have fun. The other positives, of course, it's very practical, it's very comfortable to drive. The seats could use some lumbar support, but it's not a big deal. Everything feels great. It is the top end basically of the Honda Civic lineup. The only thing you don't get is the heated seats. I wish I can get heated seats on this. If this had heated seats and heated steering wheel like the Ford Focus RS does, this would be insanely good to drive in the winter, or pretty much in any season. I love the headlights. I love the way the car looks. To me, the car looks great. You know, I think the Ford Focus RS and the Honda Civic Type R both look amazing. The Ford Focus RS, I would love it in a nitrous blue. The Type R, my favorite color is obviously championship white. But yeah, I mean, tons of positives. I've talked a lot about the positives in this channel and a little bit about the negatives. So let's go ahead and cover the negatives. So of course, one of the big negatives is I've been having this transmission problem. Now it's taken a lot of the fun that I used to have in the car. You know, taken a lot of it because, you know, you get in the car and you're kind of worried about grinding the gear. You don't want to lose that second gear synchro, and you know, sometimes when you get the 5th or 4th gear lockout, it gets really annoying to deal with. You know, it's something that I'd rather not deal with, but it's there and I've been having to deal with it, and I've been making a lot of videos about it, unfortunately, and that's, you know, it is what it is. The other negatives that this car has is that, you know, it's only a front-wheel drive platform, so you really have to learn, if you coming from a rear-wheel drive platform, how to use the front-wheel drive to the best of its abilities. So you got to make sure that you understand that all the turning and all the power and everything is happening in the front wheels. So, you know, sort of a negative, not really a negative, but you know, I kind of wish, again, this car was 4-wheel drive. It would be amazing if it was that. It might ruin the balance if that was the case, but you know, the rules of physics sleep for no one. Another negative that I have actually not talked about yet is the perception of this car. Now, a lot of people don't understand that, you know, this car comes with a lot of weight behind it. The Type R badge means something to a lot of people. So on one side, you get the fanboys, you get the people that, you know, oh, the Type R is the best car ever. You know, nothing could be wrong with the Type R. I love the Type R, etc., etc., etc. And, you know, to those guys, I gotta say, yeah, it's a Type R, but it's also, you know, just a car. You know, it's not gonna be a rocket ship. It's not gonna be an F1 car. It's, you know, it's a car that's really good on the back roads, really good on the tracks, and you know, it's a really fun car to drive. Probably one of the best performance cars under $40,000, I would say. But other than that, you know, it's still just a car. But, you know, when you get one of these fanboys talking to you, it's like, oh, you know, oh, it's the best thing ever, you know, you gotta treat it with care, oh, don't touch it with that, you're gonna scratch a little bit on it, or don't drive it in the salt, you're gonna ruin it, and don't drive it in the winter, you gotta put it away, etc. You know, you get those kind of people that kind of say you shouldn't own a Type R because you don't deserve a Type R. Well, you know, like I said, end of the day, it's just a car. Anyway, so that's one end of the spectrum. The other end of the spectrum is the haters, and man, does this car have a lot of haters. There are so many people on the internet forums, pretty much everywhere you go, especially on YouTube comments. I know you're not supposed to read those, but you know, I'm a YouTuber, so I do read them, and good God, is there so much hate for this car. Now, I haven't seen this much hate for any car pretty much ever. I can't remember the last time a car became such a hot topic for so many people. I never expected that to happen from this car. I mean, I expected the hype. I expected people to like it or you know, not like it, you know, but the amount of visceral hate that this car gets is pretty incredible. You know, I've never gotten that amount of hate to my face. You know, I've gone to different car shows and things like that, and every time somebody sees it, they're just excited to see it and excited to talk to me about it. It's been pretty awesome. You know, I met Mr. Regular. He was, you know, pretty happy to see it. You know, he's been around a lot of cool cars as well, but he was, you know, pretty happy to see it, and he liked the car as well. So, you know, regular car guys, when you meet them in person, seem to be okay, but on the internet forums, man, what do you call them? Keyboard quarterbacks or whatever you call them, but they are really against this car. They really don't like this car, and you know, the reasons they give is, you know, this is such a poser car, this is the ugliest car ever made, this is a terrible car, you know, you shouldn't spend $35,000, $37,000, you know, I spent $37,000 on this car. You shouldn't spend 37 grand on a shitty hatchback. You should have gotten at least an STI or Ford Focus RS. At least they have 4-wheel drive. You know, with front-wheel drive, you're just gonna crash, etc. You know, it's like, you know, it gets tiring after a while. The amount of hate this car garners is really incredible. Now, if you go to Mr. Regular's page, you know, he drove the Type R. He put it on his page, on his YouTube channel, and the amount of negative comments on that video, I had to sit down and just laugh at some point. I started answering a couple questions that people had, and I'm like, wait a minute, why am I bothering? This It's just a ridiculous amount of people. And I guess, you know, that's what this car does. It's a very polarizing car. You know, like I said before, Honda made a very bold statement by bringing this car out. And, you know, by being bold, you're gonna get a lot of fanboys and a lot of haters talking about the car, and it's pretty intense. So, you know, just if you're gonna buy this car, just know that it comes with a little bit of baggage. I guess it comes with a little bit of baggage that you wouldn't expect from an otherwise pretty awesome car. You know, you wouldn't buy a WRX STI and expect a legion of haters and lovers to come out at you and say, you know, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, you shouldn't do it to that special car. And on the other side saying, you're wasting your money, this guy's a kid, this guy's a whatever expletive. So that is what it is. I'd consider it one of the negatives. You know, the reason I bought the car is really just to have fun like this and to get good and, you know, better as we go along at driving this car on fun roads like this and on the track days. You know, I am planning to do racing, actual racing, not in this car, maybe not immediately, but definitely with the Prelude that I have, and probably with the WRX as well. I'll be doing some racing, some road racing, some endurance racing, and things like that. And that's the reason I bought this car, is to have a lot of fun and enjoy and learn how to drive a fast car properly. You know, I could have bought a Camaro, I could have bought a Mustang, I could have bought an S3, an S4, I could have even stretched it and bought a Corvette. But the reason I didn't do that is because I didn't want the fastest ever car, you know, in my garage, so that I'd be too afraid to take it out and have fun with it. Can you imagine having a Corvette on this back road? It'd be insane. I try to buy the best from every brand. You know, as you may or may not notice, I also have a WRX, and I have a BMW 335D, and those are both excellent cars. I love BMWs, I love Subarus, I love pretty much any brand that comes out with great cars. I'd love to have a Ford V8 in my garage one day. GT350 sounds amazing in my garage. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. That pretty much wraps it up. I don't want to, you know, make this video too long. I hope you have a great new year. This is going to be a great year ahead. On Sunday I will be going live, so look out for that. Thanks for watching as always. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.